Thanks, Nora. I can't see the slide. Okay. Go to the first slide. Okay, it's good. Okay. I call this session is NLP in communication because the basis of sales lies in communication. Okay. Then later in the second session, we'll concentrate the selling process, how we're gonna do the closing and stuff like that. And what I want to achieve from this first part of the English session would be to let you guys understand the principle of communication, okay, consciously and subconsciously, and then having this knowledge, we're gonna apply that in the second part of the classes, inshallah next Sunday. Okay. Okay. Next. It's my background. My name is Zamzuri Abdullah. Okay, I'm a certified NLP and hypnotherapy practitioner. My background, I have a background in mechanical engineering. I've been in this certified. I'm certified back in 2010. Most of my work focuses on students and therapists and stuff like that. But later, since the PKP, so I and my partner, Mr. K, we decided to focus on for sales, because I noticed that many entrepreneurs out there, they need this kind of knowledge for them to apply, okay, in the sales life, in the business and stuff like that. Okay, next one. You can find me on Facebook. I have my own profile and my page under the same name, Zamzuri Abdullah, and my Instagram, @NLP, and you may communicate with me by phone if you have any questions with regards with this topic later. Okay, next. Okay, I always no, hang on a minute. Go back. All right. Now, I normally start my session with this presentation, what I call the success formula. This is what I learned in Azure Works back about 15 years ago. The B do have formula that the being, our being, which represent our attitude, emotion, habits, meta program. This meta program is the program that we have in our mind. How we process information is what we call meta program. The B part contribute 80% of the success, and then the action part, the do part, contribute 20% of the success to get the result. So it's same as if you look at the selling process, 80% people decide whether they want to buy or not, whether they like you or not, whether you agree with you or not, is based on emotion. If they like you, okay, the sales process is going to be smooth and easy. If they hate you, then it's going to be the other way around. So it shows that emotion plays a vital component of the sales process, or whatever things that you do. Anything that you do in life, you know, when I work with students, when they have the good attitude, good emotion, good habits, the rest, the process is going to be easy. Same like in sales. When you want to influence people, when they have a good emotion, they like you, the rest is easy. So that even though the price is high, so because they like you, they will buy from you. Okay, so that's why we in NLP, we most of the time we focus on the B part. Okay, the emotion, the attitude, the habits, and so on. Okay, so so most of the things that we're going to discuss today focus on the emotion. Okay, next one. So what we're gonna discuss today. For newcomers, I'm gonna discuss what is NLP. Second, the basic communication of NLP. Okay. The third is non-verbal communication, because in sales, ordinary people, they think that communication is just based on the words they say. But actually, communication is huge. It consists of verbal and non-verbal communication. So I'm going to focus on how non-verbal communication will contributes to the communication process. Number 4, we're going to discuss how we build rapport with people, how we build relationship with people, because rapport is based on emotion. When people are comfortable with you, when people like you, then the sales process will become much easier. So if they don't like you, then you don't get the sale lah. Okay, and we're gonna discuss up to number 5 today, sensory equities. Sensory equities, so how we going to is how we process for information, whether visually or auditorily or kinesthetically. So point 6 and 7 we discuss next week. So I'm still working on this presentation. Okay. Okay, next presentation. Next slide. Okay, what is NLP? NLP stands for, it's abbreviation of Neuro Linguistic Programming. Neuro, which means the neural networks, or simply the brain. Linguistics is a language. So you notice when as we go along as the class continues, we're going to use a number of words, different words and stuff like that to persuade people. So we're going to use a lot of linguistics and programming, how we structured the thinking process and the program in the brain. Okay, so NLP is a huge area. It's a huge area. Okay, you can apply in education, in sports, in sales, in therapy. For the last few years, I've been focusing on the therapies, for motivation for kids. I've been working on that. Now I'm slowly shifting to the sales and the business part. Okay, next one. So what is NLP? So I would call it it's a group of techniques for behavioral modification in achieving self-improvement, self-management, effective communication, and enabling one to become more successful in various fields. Okay, so it's a huge area, but for today we're going to focus on effective communication, how we can persuade people and stuff like that. Okay, all right. Along the way, if you feel like asking a question, just please do so. And Nora, if you can jump in to add whatever I say, please go ahead and do so. Okay, next one. All right, this is very important, what we call NLP communication model. Okay, this is how we process information. Okay, so when you understand this process, and then you know how you think, how you behave yourself, how you suddenly become angry, how suddenly you become so sad, and how suddenly you do what you do, and so on, and you notice why all of a sudden what you do, you fail or you become successful and stuff like that. Okay, now we start when we communicate with the world. Okay, we have external information that was absorbed through a different channel, visually, through the eyes, auditorily through the ears, through sound, and from movement, touches, and stuff like that. Okay, and scientists said we absorb 2 million bits information per second. Okay, at any point in time. Okay, and it enters our brain. Only 134,000 is allowed to pass this process, because in between is that what we call have the filters in NLP. There are few filters. What the filters do is it deletes some of the information. It generates some of the information and then distorts some of the information. If we allow the conscious mind to absorb all the information, the 2 million bits of information at one time, our brain cannot handle it. So some is deleted, some is distorted, and then I give you some example how information is there's three process. One is deletion, second one is generalization, and then the third one is distortion. Okay. Example of generalization. Let's say you do a comparison between Mak Saleh and the Asian and the European, and you say that Malaysian are Asian are in general shorter than the American or the European. So you're making a generalization. Okay, is there so we make information much simpler. Of course, there are people, Asian people, who are taller than American, who are taller than the European. But by doing generalization, it makes learning process is much easier and stuff like that. Okay, that's one way. Nora, is there any other things that you want to share about this generalization?
Yes. Okay, so the human being is actually a meaning-making machine. That means that whatever events that occurs, if the event can somehow can somehow relate to the emotional part of ourselves, you will then be having these categories apa orang kata disambung kait dekat dalam kepala otak kita. For example,
means integrate.
Yeah, integrated in your brain. For example, my first boyfriend was a complete a-hole. Then I broke up with him. My second boyfriend, almost the same, completely unromantic and also having other relationship as well. So now I have two experiences with guys, which is not very good. So I broke up with him. So my third experience, my third boyfriend, he was very much into himself. He did not pay enough attention to me. And so I have come to generalize all men as being useless and hopeless and a complete waste of my time. So, in my mind, an event when it comes to men, I have put it as a generalization that all men are useless. Okay. But there are some guys that because I do have a certain requirement that I look for in a man. So there are some guys that come to me, but I did not pay enough attention to him. And this memory and this event is just deleted. I don't even remember him at all. So we have a delete, we have a generalization, and a distort is something else. So far, anybody have a question between delete events and also generalization, or is everybody okay with it already? Okay, yeah. All right. So
Okay. I want this one for I came across this exercise a few days back. How many of you is wearing watches now? Hello? I'm asking the.
Okay, Cikgu Zam cannot see anybody. So anybody wearing watches?
All right. Okay, now.
Shafiq, yes.
Okay, good. Now, Shafiq, now what I want you to do is to cover your watch with your hand. Okay. Now I'm asking you whether your watch has a jarum saat ataupun the second arm. Okay, jangan don't open your hand. Jangan, sekarang I want you to answer my question. Does your watch have second arms? What's your answer? Yes or no? No. Okay, now I want you open your buka jam you, tengok ada tak? Nora, can you unmute him? I want to talk to him. Syafiq?
Second arm tu apa? Second arm?
Jarum saat. Sorry.
Tak ada. Saya pakai digital.
Oh, digital. Okay. No. Okay. Now, tutup tangan you balik. Jam tu balik. Okay. Now I'm asking you, what is time now? Jangan tengok jam. Don't look at the watch. Okay. What's the time now?
Maybe 3:40.
Maybe 3:40. Maybe, right? But when I ask you whether your watch have second arm jarum saat or not, tadi masa you tengok kan, masa saya tanya tu, you tengah tengok jam kan? Sekarang, masa sekarang ialah 3:30. Kenapa you tak boleh, why cannot you answer my question correctly? The time now is 3:30. Your answer was 3:40.
Maybe focus?
Yes, because when you focus checking whether your watch has the second arm or not, you're focusing on the checking whether that your watch has a second arm or not. You're not checking what is the time, right? So when you focus on the second arm, actually you are deleting some of the information about time and other than the second arm. You get what I mean?
Yes, I can.
Okay, that's the process of deletion. That's when you're so focused doing things that you do, and all of a sudden you don't notice anything that happened around you. Okay, that's normal. There's nothing wrong or bad about that. It happens to everyone. Everyone delete, everyone generalize. Even generalization is very useful in learning. When people are learning about science, okay, they generalize, they come up with a formula or they come up with a theory. they generalize about things. Okay. Nora, do you have any example for distortion?
Cikgu bagi example dulu.
Okay. Now, my office mate enter the office without saying good morning. He must be pissed off.
Another situation is when you are on the road and then when you are on the road and then you see you are on the third lane and then you come upon a car which is in front of you and that car is slow. So you say that this car is menyebok lah dekat situ. So this car is
He must be using a handphone, something like that.
He must be using a handphone, for example. And then you honk, 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 honk. He goes away to the other side. Now, distortion is different from each person. So now you are on the third lane and then you are going as fast as you can. And then comes along a Lamborghini behind of you. And then Lamborghini looks at you and saying that, oh my God, here goes a lady driver. And now you are becoming the next person that at first you were in position A, the useless person on the road that is hogging the road. So now the Lamborghini comes and you are becoming the second person who is hogging the road, the useless person. So each of us will have a different meaning and it can be distorted to the situation that happens.
Yeah. Maybe the person that my friend that entered the office without saying good morning to you, maybe because he doesn't notice you. But because he doesn't say good morning, you just say, he must be in the bad mood. That's what we call distortion. Okay? Go back.
Yeah, sorry.
All right. Okay. So 2 million beats per second is reduced to 134,000 per second. And then whatever that absorbed is created, it creates a mental internal representation, what we call is a mind picture. Okay. As Nora tells her experience about the slow driver on the third lane, okay, we already create a picture in the mind. You know, my mind going to be different from your picture that thinking about the situation. Mine is thinking about, since I know she's staying near Bukit Damansara, I noticed a lady driving a car on the third lane on the highway near Bukit Damansara. Okay, that's a picture of me. Okay, a rainy, a sunny day and stuff like that. That's a picture. It's that picture that you create in the mind is what we call internal representation. Okay, so if I ask someone else about his or her internal representation, will be different. Okay, Muhammad, when Nora share her experience about the honking car, what pictures come to your mind?
As in the first driver or the second driver or what? It's just,
I don't mind. It doesn't matter.
Okay, I'm basically to me it feels that I don't know, in the sense we feel that we are always right and maybe the other person is wrong or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Where I'm in a position to honk at someone, I'm in the right place, and someone honking at me means I'm still right, but they're still wrong. So that's my
okay. So everybody has their own picture in mind. Okay. When let's say I'm talking about going to the beach, okay, you on the receiving end of the information, we're going to create a picture in your mind. maybe in Practioner or somewhere in Tioman or in Pulau Perhentian, whatsoever. So everyone has their own internal representation. Okay, so every picture that comes to your mind, you know, it has sounds to it. You know, it's a picture of, let's say, a picture of a beach, beautiful beach. Okay, a sound of wind, sound of the birds, sound of the wave, and stuff like that. So it has sound. Okay, and it has emotion. When you think of, you bring that picture in mind, it has certain emotion. You feel calmness, you're feeling relaxed and stuff like that. That's why just beneath the internal representation, I put state. State meaning the emotional state. Okay. Now, the whatever picture that you bring to mind, you're gonna create a certain state. Okay. If you think about something that makes you angry, maybe something in the past, maybe you're having a argument with your friend or your spouse or whatever, and you create a different state. And state will create a different physiology. I mean, when you're angry, the way you sit different from when you're relaxed. Okay, the way you stand when you calm and when you in angry mode is going to be totally different. Okay, because the state is going to affect your physiology. Okay, that's why from a distance, if you look at a person standing or sitting, you can very much know whether that particular person is in good mood or in a bad mood. Okay, this is some is part of non-verbal communication. Okay, and whether the person is confident or inconfident and stuff like that. Okay, and the state itself also will create a behavior. Okay, so when an angry person, okay, an angry person will punch to the other party because he's so angry. The emotion, so the anger led him to punch his opponent in the face, for instance. If the state is loving, so maybe that person is going to say thank you or hug the person in front of him or her. So what I'm trying to say is the internal representation will trigger a certain state. Will trigger happiness, trigger anger, trigger creativeness or whatsoever. Okay, that state will trigger the physiology. At the same time, that state will trigger a behavior. Okay, this is very important because we're talking about communication. When as an NLP practitioner, when you have you can predict what goes in the mind. Okay, basically when you look at the physiology, okay, and then look at the behavior, you know when she's acting negatively, I'm not pretty much sure what goes in the mind. Maybe she's something negative is triggering is thinking about something negative in the mind and stuff like that. So how this slide tells you very much how you process the information and lead you to your physiology and your behavior. Okay, all right. Nora, anything else you want to add?
Okay, so I would like to share a story. And imagine this is in late evening and you are going into the LRT. And during this PKP period, there's not too many people in the LRT, but still comfortable enough to be there, but with other things happening as well. So you are sitting down and you are reading your book and you're waiting to get to your destination. At the far end of the carriage, you can see children running around and jumping around and making so much noise when you are actually just came back from work, where everybody is at home enjoying this PKP, but you have to go to work. So now all you want is just to get home. It's just to have some peace and quiet at home, and you're looking forward to that. But these kids are running up and down and making noises and jumping on the chair and jumping down and disturbing everybody's peace and quiet. So first you are consciously reading your book, but then unconsciously you are being triggered. You're starting to get upset. You can see the father sitting there, and you notice that the father is not doing anything at all. So in your head, your internal representation, you're telling yourself that this father is a bad father because he cannot control his children. What happens to your state? What happens to your physiology? You get a little bit more upset. You tense, you get tense. Your palms get a little bit sweaty. And what is your next behavior? You stood up, you went to the father, and you said, "Hello, Inche, please take care of your children. Please instill some discipline in them. Please." You got upset. And then this father, he's just sitting down there, and he looked up at you and he said, "I'm sorry. I just got news from the hospital that their mother did not make it because of COVID-19. She is one of the fatalities. And I don't know how to tell my children yet. And I don't know what I should do, because it's the mother who takes care of them every day, and now I just don't know what to do." So my question is, will your internal representation change? Yes, Muhammad?
Oh, yes, most certainly it will. Yeah,
It
but
will.
there are some, mine would, but maybe there could be others who may not change their representation because they're so agitated at that particular moment that they don't care. They don't have the empathy to maybe, but that's them. Maybe mine will definitely.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes. So we have a lot of chat in here as well. Thank you for sharing, Mr. Muhammad. We have a lot of chat here saying, Mariani say yes, Maria say yes, Wana say yes, Sarah say yes. So your internal representation may change, and this is how you understand NLP. A certain event may trigger you to a certain point. A certain event may completely be disregarded, or a certain event may change your mind. Okay, so what NLP teaches you is pay attention, take a deep breath, don't become so easily to judge, because we only know what we know and we do not know what we do not know.
Well, the cases that you just shared is also a distortion, right?
Yes, it is.
Yes. Okay, thanks, Nora. I think any question before we move to the next slide? Interesting, huh? You punya. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Nora, next slide.
Sorry, just one question, Zamzuri.
Yes. Okay,
yeah,
good.
you said there are 2 million bits per second that is information out there, right?
Yes.
And only 134,000 get into us. So is there an
Yes.
optimal level in terms of number of bits, or is it just an average?
It's just a round figure number, but
Okay,
when I do a few research, the number is pretty much the same. So
okay, no worries.
Okay.
No worries.
All right. Now, let's talk about the conscious mind, the subconscious mind. Okay. Now, our brain is divided into parts: conscious mind and subconscious mind. Okay. the analogy is the iceberg analogy. The conscious mind in the upper part of the water, okay, and the subconscious mind is the one that below the water. It's 90%. Conscious mind is control the critical thinking, logical thinking, short-term memory, willpower. The conscious mind tries to use willpower to control behavior, habits, belief, but loses out the subconscious mind greater influence. Of course, the subconscious mind is more powerful than the conscious mind. When subconscious mind control belief, creativity, developmental stages, emotion and feelings, habits, addiction, imagination. So when you do imagination, you know, when Nora tells the story about the kids jumping in the LRT, stuff like that, you automatically create a picture in your mind. Then that shows that your subconscious mind is at work. Okay? Intuition, long-term memory, protective reaction, values, and stuff like that. So we as a NLP practitioner, we are very much focused on the subconscious part, because emotion is embedded in that emotion, belief, all in the subconscious mind area, 90%. So why it says that the conscious mind try to use willpower to control behavior, habits, and belief, but loses out to the subconscious mind greater influence. Why? Why subconscious mind is more powerful? Let's say someone has smoking habits. You want to advise that person quit smoking because cigarette contains 4,000 types of chemicals which can cause cancer, blah, 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 blah. Intellectually, he understands that. He knows that already. But why people continue smoke even though they know all the dangers? It's because of the habits, because of the emotion and feeling they have in relation to this with regard to smoking, because they already attached that when I smoke I feel relaxed. It's become already a habit. That's why when you give people advice consciously, you can only control 10% of that person's mind. But when you work with a subconscious mind, you have a greater power to change behavior, to change emotion, because as we saw in the previous slide, the behavior is driven by emotion, by the states. When we change the emotion, when we change the state, the process is much easier. That's why we are always interested in the subconscious mind. Nora, anything to add to my statement?
Okay, the simplest example, you go into a shop and you see a very nice piece of dress. So you see this dress and you know at home you have 30 more dresses in your cabinet. Ataupun koleksi tudung, yeah, for the ladies. You have one lorry of tudung in your cabinet, but you see dark, and then you go like, everybody is wearing dark. Oh, this is trending. Vivi Yusof say, if you want to be a part of the hipster community, you have to have a duck. So you start to believe this. Okay, if I have a duck, that means I'm already up here. And then you feel it in your heart. Although your logical thinking is saying, okay, so this is 3,000, Don't buy this piece of material that you will only wear once. Take a picture, upload it on the Instagram, and keep it back in the cabinet because you cannot be seen to be wearing it twice. Of course, it's dark. Exclusivity. But most times we will lose to our conscious mind because our subconscious mind keep feeding us this feeling, this energy, and then this your imagination that you have in your mind. So that's why people say if you want to sell, touch the emotion. For them to remember you, touch the emotion. Okay?
All right. All right. Okay, next slide. So I came across this slide yesterday, very interesting. Consumer purchase behavior. This is research done by Dr. Gerald Zoltman. Okay, he's a professor from Harvard. He said 95% of the purchase decision happen in the subconscious. Okay, people buy because of emotion. So I know people buy because they feel comfortable, they like it, they like the environment, they like you who sell the products. Okay, well, I know you people may need or might not need the product, but because they are comfortable with you, then they decide to buy the product. That's why we keep saying that, you know, focus on the emotion, so that you drive that person to do the purchase. Okay, 95% is huge number. So knowing knowing this knowledge will help you very, very much. Okay, anything to add?
No, it's self-explanatory. So, okay.
Okay,
Everybody
all right.
understand, yeah? Use emotion in business. Anna Sharmila, can you elaborate further on touch of emotion, please? Okay. Anybody can share their experiences where they actually use emotion for their ads or for their approach towards customer. Can you kindly share?
I'm using emotion when selling. Okay. Okay, great.
Okay. Who said that? Who said that I'm using emotion when selling?
Wana.
Okay, Wana, can you give an example on how you use emotion when selling? Can you unmute?
Oh, hi. Okay.
Okay.
I'm selling hair care products, basically shampoo. So
Okay.
the emotion that I sell, I'm not selling the shampoo itself, basically, but I'm selling the emotion if you use that shampoo. So the emotion that I put in that is, if you use this shampoo, you don't have to face any hair loss problem anymore. And then the feeling of, you know, diva, the feeling of you wake up in the morning and you don't have any problem with your hair. You can just comb your hair using your fingers, that kind of emotion. The emotions of you're not having any issue, any bad hair days anymore. That kind of emotions that I'm selling. So basically,
Yeah.
I'm not focusing on the ingredient of the shampoo, but I'm focusing on the emotion if you use that shampoo.
Yeah. You bring you let the customer or the client see or visualize the future when
Yeah.
he or she use the product.
Yes,
So,
and the second point that I use is because I'm selling Volosi. Volosi is a fragrant shampoo. So fragrant shampoo, okay, I'm selling shampoo like for 5 to 6 years. So people only know me. Wana equals to hair. So I already have my own like so-called raving fans or whatever that I sell according to hair. So they will just buy it. But upon the market studies and whatnot, so I found out that people will buy things that are they love to smell, and the feeling after that is good. So I sell both. One is the feeling after they use the shampoo, and second is the feeling when they smell the shampoo. So that's why I sell fragrant shampoo. So basically now what I'm selling to people is the emotions after they use the shampoo, or before
Yeah.
that, before they use, which is the smell of the shampoo. Basically it's still
Okay.
an emotions.
Yes. It's all in the subconscious mind. That's why you
Yeah,
need
it's
to.
on the subconscious mind.
Very
Okay.
good. Very good sharing. Thank you, Wana.
Welcome.
Okay. Okay. Next. Okay. Now I show you the brainwave frequency. What I know we're not doing hypnotherapy. Okay. When people are relaxed, okay, okay. There's 4 levels of brainwave: beta, alpha, delta, and theta. We are currently at beta, at conscious mind, at theta, where the frequency is the highest. When people start to like you, I mean, they like you and they feel more and relaxed and stuff like that, they will come down to alpha. Okay, and when you go to the subconscious mind, you are at alpha, delta, and theta lah. But you don't have to go all the way to delta or theta for persuasion. You go to alpha, where you bring the client into alpha. The mind is more suggestive, right? That's what we call more suggestive. Whatever that you recommend, whatever that you introduce the product or whatsoever, they tend to agree with you.
Suggestible.
Suggestible. Okay. So when I said you bring your client to the subconscious, doesn't mean you have to fall asleep like in hypnotherapy. Okay. Alpha, it means you're relaxed. So when you go to do your prayers, you are at alpha. When you are, the client is at alpha, relaxed, and then more suggestible. That's why we always want to enter the subconscious mind. Okay. That's the reason why I bring this slide. Anything to ask about this brainwave frequency?
Sometimes also with children, if you want to give advice to your children, when they are at beta state, when they are awake, they are normal, alert, very conscious, try to give them an advice. Most probably, they won't pay too much attention to you because they are being very, very active. So this is a tip that I got from Cikgu Zam, which is that when the children wants to go to bed, tell them a bedtime story. And the bedtime story is usually what you want them to learn or what you want them to practice. With my children, I always use once upon a time, there was a little princess and her name is Princess Sophia, and she has a sister and her sister's name is Princess Kakak Ain. They love to play with each other, but sometimes they fight. But because they are the best of friends, they always learn how to get along with each other. So I will tell this story 3 nights in a row, and then you will see the next day onwards how they will become more attracted to each other, because when they are in alpha state, when they are relaxed, when they are about to go to bed, and we can tell them stories that is easy for them to understand and something that they can implement at the back of their mind. So thank you, Cikgu Zam, for that tip. It has worked very well with my children.
Okay. One last question is about how do you, let me see the questions. Let me check. Okay, the question was how to determine the state of mind. What do you mean by state of mind, Wana? I mean, how do you know at which frequency are you at or what?
Yeah, basically how we will know that person is under beta, alpha, or because sometimes the people is awake, but we
Yes, I
doesn't
know.
really know, what's in their head, what is in their mind. So what kind of approach that is appropriate?
Okay. When
Would you mind to elaborate?
okay, thanks. Okay, you know about conscious and subconscious, right? When you're conscious, when people are conscious, they're basically at beta, conscious, and if they are worried a lot, they're thinking, they're with the thinking process. What should I do today, tomorrow, whatever. They do the thinking, active thinking. They're at beta. When they're feeling relaxed, they're focused. They're at alpha. They are visualizing something, they're thinking, macam mengelamun or daydreaming is alpha. When in general, when they are relaxed, normally they are at alpha. And delta, the person already fall asleep, and theta is like deep sleep. So for selling process, you need to know beta and alpha. Unless you want to hypnotize your friend or your husband, then you go to the delta or theta. I mean, the most important thing is make him feel relaxed. Yes, yeah.
Okay, sorry. Can I conclude, like beta is overthinking head and alpha is the daydreaming kind of things?
Yes.
Can I conclude that? And then the delta is someone's already slept. But how can we sure that that person is under deep sleep or not, basically?
Deep sleep. Deep sleep is like deep sleep is like, if the noise so loud at the back and that person is, macam tidur mati lah. I mean, macam cannot very
Okay.
means
okay, now I get it. So delta is basically that person is sleeping, but when you touch the person, so that person can like easily wake up.
Yes,
so, but then
easily awaken. Yes.
Theta is like if
try to wake him
if an
up.
earthquake also, then
Yeah,
that person will like deeply sleep lah. Okay,
yes,
got it.
Yeah. But if you want to do suggestion for your hubby or during sleep, you can do it at alpha or delta. But this one is for hypnotherapy classes lah, so we can share later lah. So a good deal of knowledge about this state and how the brain can act as its optimal. Well, depends on where you are lah. But normally, I would suggest alpha is the best state because you are feel more relaxed. And when you focusing on something, you have an issue, normally you'll be at beta, but it won't be for long. But the danger is when you at beta most of the time, you must be a stressful person. Okay. Later we can during the question and answer session we can ask lah. Okay, all right. Next one. Below. Okay. One more thing. As you go down from beta to alpha, as you go down, you feel more relaxed. Okay, and more suggestive. That's what I can put. Okay, tahap paling rendah conscious is delta, theta. Yes, delta. Okay, this communication, element of communication. Because for ordinary people, they always think that communication is all the words that I say, the word that I utter. Actually, it's bigger than that. Okay, people are missing actually three elements of communication, personal communication. 7% is the spoken word, the word that you say, the word you utter. 38% the voice, the tone, the tonality, what you say, as we say. and 55% consists of the body language. So if you were to communicate with someone else, okay, I would recommend that you move your arms, you know, and then you tilt your head whatsoever. Okay, this also part of the communication. Okay, if you like, you know, some people, they are very shy and they don't move their hands, you know, they just stand like that, you know. I wouldn't recommend that. You move your hands and move your body, and this also be part of your communication. And people tend to understand better. Okay, if you include the body language and the tonality. Tonality consists of how the loudness, the pitch, you know, the up and down of your voices and stuff like that. It's also it consists of 38% of communication. It's very powerful. Okay. Later, when we the second part, we're gonna teach you how to use to use persuasion when we communicate people face to face, or where you can see and hear the person. And we're going. I will also share how to communicate efficiently with people over the phone, where you cannot see the person but you can hear the person. And we're going to teach you how to persuade people when during if they send message or text, WhatsApp, and stuff like that. Okay. Anything to add, Nora?
Tell me the difference between this. Hello, my name is Nora. I am 40 years old, and I want you to buy from me the Veloci shampoo.
Okay.
Between.
Yes, flat. Yes.
Hi, my name is Nora. So you see, I want you to buy this Veloci shampoo because I think it can make your hair feel so nice and so good. You can touch it if you want. So, will you remember version 1 of me or version 2 of me?
Yes. Good.
Yes. Senang kan? So you will remember version 2. Why? Because we are meaning-making machine. We are human beings and we assign meanings to events. So if you want to be remembered, be different or be the best that you can be for your customers. Inshallah.
Okay, great. Okay, next one. Okay, the definition of non-verbal communication: anything that communicates a message other than words. Okay, so words will be 7%. So non-verbal communication stands for about 93%. Okay, I think next.
Non-verbal communication also usually very much happens with when you are in tune with your partner or in tune with your best friend, or when you are in tune with somebody, when you can just look at each other's eyes and you know what each other means. Like if you want to get, for example, either Starbucks or Coffee Bean, and then you go past Starbucks, and then you just look at each other, then you know, let's go to Starbucks, let's go to Coffee Bean lah. So it can happen with non-verbal communication when you understand each other enough. So don't forget the power of non-communication, because sometimes even when we are feeling down or something is bothering us, we don't even have to say it out loud, but the people closest to us will know this as well.
Good enough. Next. Okay, this is a different part of the non-verbal communication. The 55%, the body language, or what we call physiology, includes eye movement, facial expression, posture, touch, gesture, personal space, head movement. The auditory component or the tonality component will be the pitch, pauses, volume, speed, and projection. Okay, I think this is self-explanatory. Okay, or you want to add something?
Yeah, I think that one is covered.
Okay, so you see, people communicate verbally and non-verbally. Okay, and normally people like I'm a big fan of Barack Obama because he like to use his hands, you know, non-verbal communication during his speech, which is very powerful. He speak his point effectively during his presentation. Okay. Anything to add, Nora? Okay. Okay, non-verbal communication also governed how other people think and feel about us. And a person's body language reflects the attitude and emotion of a person. And when you look at a person in the slide, the way she sits, you know, it shows that she's nervous, nervous and not confident, and that feelings will people will pick up that message. You know, that this person, you know, not confident, nervous, and stuff like that. Okay, and it tells you very much about that person. Okay, Nora, anything to add?
Okay, now if you want to have a quick shift of emotion, example, if you are feeling nervous, and your physiology can help you to feel better. Okay, now is everybody sitting down, or is anybody standing up or just sitting down? Chat away. Sitting down,
Okay.
yeah? Okay, now try to do a superhero pose. If you can see me, take your hand, put it on your hips. Okay, sit straight, look up, chest back. Now imagine you are at the top of Mount Kinabalu. Go there. Go there now. Okay, come back. So you see, when you change your physiology, when you change the way that you are sitting, when you change the way that you want to be facing a person, your confidence level will be different, your energy will be different. You will feel like if before this you were not so confident to talk to that person, but when you change your physiology, a lot of difference can happen. And do practice that. If you want to go into a meeting or before that, just use the superhero pose quickly at your own time, change your physiology, and inshallah it can change your confidence level as well.
Yeah. We can go back to the previous slide where physiology will affect your states. Okay.
Okay. Yang ni ya?
Bukan previous one, yang gambar kepala tu.
Kepala?
Jauh lah. Jauh lah.
Okay. Kita teruskan. You nak that screen?
Just nak tunjuk je lah.
Slide 1.
No, not slide 1. I think slide number slide 5 kot. 5, 6.
Okay. 5. This is 5. This is 6. What is NLP?
Next one.
Okay, 7.
I think 3 more.
1, 2, 3. Conscious mind.
Slow ah. 3 or 4 lah, something like that. Lagi. Sorry lah.
Sekejap ya.
Banyak deh.
Siapa ni deh? Okay, sekejap. Sekejap ya. Okay, gambar kepala ni, internal representation ke?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. See, the state will change the physiology, and physiology will change the state of emotion. And then the state will also change the behavior. Okay, look at the left-hand side of the slide. See, that's why when Nora said do the power poses, so the power poses you make your body open, and then it affects your states, and then it states your emotion. Okay, jump to number 17.
Okay.
Okay, this one, how physiology will affect number 17, Yeah. Not motion, emotion, tersilap. Okay, so physiology, open body position. So the emotion related to this open body position is confident, open, brave, risk-taking. Okay. So if you have a closed body position, so the emotion will be inconfident, close-minded, nervous, and reserved. Okay, that's how the body language will affect the emotion. Okay. Okay. Now we go to rapport building. Okay. Now in any situation, when we do business or meeting or whatsoever, we do a negotiation. Okay, we always build rapport first. Okay, rapport, so that when we rapport, and then you can close the sale, so you win something lah during the meeting or presentation. Okay, there are 3 elements of rapport. Okay, the first one is shared attention. You are both focused on and interested in what the other person is saying or doing. Okay, so you focus to one another. Okay, you cannot have one person talking and the other person is looking at the phone. No, it's not shared attention. Okay, it has shared attention. Number 2 is good feeling. You are both friendly and happy, and you show care and concern for one another. Okay, emotion will affect behavior. Good emotion will lead to positive behavior. Okay, all right. Now, and then the third one is in synchrony or coordination, or what we call matching. You feel in sync with one another so that you share a common understanding, a nature, and your energy level, tone, and body language are also similar. When you look at people in having a rapport, you can see the way they sit, the way they stand, the way they act. They are in sync, or they copy one another. The words they use look similar. Okay, that's what we call in sync, or what we call in NLP is matching or mirroring. They are sometimes they use the word mirroring. Okay. Okay, Nora, anything to add?
Yeah, if you go to the coffee shop and then you see a bunch of girls sitting down at the table, and usually this bunch of girls can finish each other's sentences. So if everybody is carrying a handbag, you can see that most of them will be carrying the same kind of handbags. Even if it's a different brand, it will be the same look that everybody is trying, that they prefer. If one of them is crossing their legs, you will see that 80% of them will be crossing their legs as well. So, but if you go to another table where you have a bunch of people brainstorming for an idea, you will see that everybody has a laptop on, everybody has notebooks on, so everybody will be in sync with each other. So although that everyone comes from a different background, that everybody is unique and their own individual, but when you are in the group, you tend to match each other. You tend to be in the same group and to have the same dynamics. So
Okay.
it is also in business, it is quite important that if you want to build a strong business, get a team that is in sync with you and can work well with each
Okay.
other. So,
All right. Okay, great. Next. Okay, what is rapport? Rapport is the ability to relate to others in a way that create trust and understanding. It's the ability to see others from a point of view, from the other's point of view, okay, and get them to understand yours. You don't have to agree with their point of view or even like it. It makes any form of communication easier. Okay, you don't have to agree with their point of view. When you learn about presupposition of NLP, when you want to influence people, what you do is you try to get into their head and look at the matter from their point of view. Okay, you don't have to agree with their point of view. Just respect their point of view. So when you are able to communicate from the other party's point of view, normally rapport is achieved. Okay. Now, Nora.
in NLP, if you go for the full day trainings with Cikgu Zam, one of them is you may be able to get to know about it's called disassociation technique. So disassociation technique is where you will have a role play of going into the thoughts of another person. For example, if you are in conflict, and then NLP can teach you on how you can think like the other person and what you can see from their point of view, and then to realize that sometimes conflict can very, very much be avoided. That is number one. And number two is what you are feeling, the emotions that you are feeling, the anger or the sadness or any negative emotion that you are feeling can very, very much be reduced if you take your time to understand the other person. So you just have to understand. You don't have to agree. So that is the principle of NLP.
Okay, great. Next. Okay. Rapport with others or group of people by sharing the same features, making communication easier and more effective. So people, when they are at rapport, you can notice the way they stand, the way the tonality of the voices, are very much the same. Okay, and then the words they use also the same. The words they use is what we call predicates. We're gonna introduce you some of it in this class, but we're gonna do the works. I mean the questionnaire later for next class. But this is from looking at the picture, you already understand these two people are already in sync with one another, and they having a good relationship, working relationship. Anything to add?
I see them as having a good argument. Siapa rasa dia tengah argue ke ataupun they are having a good conversation? Okay, tu iklan saja.
Okay, argue. Okay.
Argue kan? Alright, so let's go to the next one.
So we are attracted to people who resemble ourselves. Good relationships are formed by sharing feelings. Okay, during to achieve rapport also, you need to share emotion. Mean you have to copy or the mirror their emotion, match their emotion. Let's say you have a kids who have who feeling sad. So what you can do is, if that kids is sitting at one corner of the bed, so you cannot simply to soothe him or her by standing. What you need to do is you sit next to him, sit like he or she sits, and then talk and share the feeling. Okay, so rapport is easily maintained or achieved if you have a you share the emotion. Okay, this is for parenting. For business environment, is very much the same. Okay, Nora.
Sharing sessions are incredibly powerful. So if you have a good network, please do keep to the network, because sometimes sharings can be emotional as well, but that is where you learn what is everybody's heart shape, and you can share their joys, and they can bring you to a state where you never thought that you could go. So keep your close friends close and keep your network strong.
All right. Next. Okay. So when you talk about matching or mirroring, so what we're going to match or what we're going to mirror? Okay, mirroring or matching is simply the process of mimicking subtle behavior with whoever we are communicating. So what do we mirror? So mirroring or matching can be achieved by copying body language, speech pattern or tonality, or the vocabulary style or specific choices of words. Okay, we look at the picture again. The guy is copying the girl is copying the guy's body language by putting the hands in the pockets. That's copying the mirroring or matching the body language. Okay, if that one party raise the voice, the other person also raise the voice. Okay, we're gonna few more slides, then we should be done. Okay, Nora.
Okay, anybody have a question about mirroring or matching? So this we have learned during series 1. So if you have a question, boleh ask sekarang yang masih not sure yet how to do mirroring or matching in your daily business life.
Okay.
Everybody okay?
Okay. Next one. Okay, so this mirror, Barack Obama already mirror the other party, the British Prime Minister. Okay, they are in sync already. Okay, this is contoh, the example of mirroring. Next one. This is also mirroring. Okay. So what happened is, without you noticing, person A on the left, when communicates to person B on the right, A try to mimic B, B try to mimic A. That's why you notice when two person communicating, after a while, you'll see that body language tend to in sync one another, and then you see the rapport is achieved. So if the physiology, tonality, and words are not in sync, then the rapport won't be achieved. So so what we do in NLP is we mesh the physiology, the tonality, and the words, and then inshallah, when all these factors are in sync, and you'll notice the agreement or rapport can be easily achieved, and then so many things you can close sales and stuff like that. Okay, the most of the matching of words we're gonna cover in the next class, but we're gonna tell you a little bit about the words. Okay, next one. Okay, this is sensory acuity. Next. Okay. We're going to talk about representational system. What it means is that it's a senses through which we experience the world. So we use our senses to learn, from vision, visual, by listening, by touching, movement. In fact, there are visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory. Olfactory is for smell, right? Smell. Gustatory is for tasting of food. But the three major one will be visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. Okay, this is maybe one day you go for certification program, you might come across olfactory and gustatory. Okay, but most school of NLP, they only focus three: visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. We all have all five, all five. But we need to know which one is the dominant one. Or like me, I'm a kinesthetic person, K, which means that I learn most from my by doing, by practice. Nora, you are a visual person, right?
Visual
Okay.
and kinesthetic.
Okay. So we cannot mirror ourselves. Okay, never mind. We proceed dulu, and then we take the questions. So major representational system, which do you communicate more in? So in my case, I communicate more kinesthetically, okay, followed by visual and auditory. Okay, some people they visually, okay. So different people they communicate differently. Okay. Okay. Later we give you, for second class, we give you a questionnaire to figure out which is your major representational system. Okay. We're going to do more on this in the next class. Okay, next one. Okay. Now, as I said, when we do want to persuade people, we need to go into the subconscious mind of the other party, of the other person we communicate with. Okay. So when you are a visual person, you tend to use words, most of the time you use sensory-based words that reflects, that's associated with vision. If you're auditory person, you tend to use words that are related to listening. If you're kinesthetic person, then your vocabulary, yours, will be mostly related to touching and movement and stuff like that. So sense language, the power of sensory language or predicate, I'll show in the next slide. Sense language is more powerful at engaging other parties simply because it triggers our subconscious mind rather than requiring the cognitive effort that's more abstract or objective thoughts need. So when you want to enter the subconscious mind of the other party, when you do persuasion, so what you do is you need to get into the head of the other person. Okay, so if I want to get to the head, Nora's head, because I know she's a visual person, then I need to use the vocabulary of a visual learners. So if you want to paint picture, sound, and sensation with word, you will immediately gain attention and greater understanding. Hence, be better able to communicate effectively and persuade others to your cause. Okay? So, but first we need to figure out whether you are a visual person or kinesthetic person or auditory person. So the questionnaire we pass before we start the second session. This is a list of predicates. If you're a visual person, most of your sense words will be see, view, appears, imagine, focus, clear cut, and so on. That's why when you after you meet your friend, you say you tell your friend, see you later. Why people use the word see you later? Because the person that say it is a visual person. Okay, auditory person tend to use the words, the list of words in the middle. Afterthought, call, hold your tongue, pay attention, anything related to sounds. And kinesthetic person tend to use the word that relates to movement, emotion. Chip off the old block, control yourself, hand in hand, hold on, pain in the neck, and so on. So I have the list in Bahasa as well. I give you later for you to use. If you Google, you can find all this a lot more. Okay. So if I were to build rapport with Nora, because I'm a kinesthetic person, most of my words, my sense words, is the one on the far right. So I need to match her sense word as well. So what I do, if I want to persuade and build rapport with Nora, so I need to change my vocabulary and use all the visual words. We're going to teach you how to use the how to use those words in your conversation later in the second part of the class. Nora, anything else that you want to add before I think this is the last slide, I think. Nora? Anything else?
Dah sampai ke thank you dah.
Okay.
Yes. So I think the most important one of the core NLP in business is about the visual, kinesthetic, or auditory approach that you can use on another person, which we will cover more in depth next week. Because especially when we are during this lockdown period, if you want to have customers on WhatsApp or on the internet where you cannot see them in front of you, you cannot read their body language, you cannot do the matching. So this is the best way to use, which is to use all the vocabularies that is suitable for that person. So hope to see you guys in next week's class too. And anybody have any questions? Please, you are most welcome to share it now.
Okay.
Okay, Zamzuri, just one
Yeah.
question. When you spoke about rapport, right?
Yes.
Is that the same as alignment?
Yes.
In a way.
In a way, yes.
Right. Okay. All right.
Okay. Good. Anything else? Because when you see people are in alignment or in rapport, you see the body language kind of in sync from a distance. You know whether this couple is a married couple or
Or 15 years married,
yeah.
or 30 years married.
And during when you know this knowledge, when you meet people or your client, and you can purposely match their body language, and then the rapport can be achieved much faster as compared to when it happened naturally. So that's what we notice, what we see when our students use this technique. We notice that they can close their sales, bigger sales, you know. That's what we notice. Okay, any other questions?
Okay, so everybody learned something today?
Very much.
Yes,
Okay.
that's very
Alright.
good. Okay, so try to apply it in your life and start to practice. And remember that NLP is actually a study of everything that we already know, but it is making it more obvious for us. So it's a study of human behavior, and since every one of us is human as well, so there will be no problem for you to apply NLP in your everyday lives.
Okay, I think thanks everyone. If you have any other question, you can message me personally or PM Nora or Muhammad. Since you're not in the group, you can PM me or PM me, message, text me if you have any further question. Okay.
Thank you, the two.
Okay.
You're welcome.
The recording for this class, I will share with you in the group, and Muhammad, I'll give you a copy as well.
Sure, thank you.
Okay. See you later.
Thank you, everybody. Assalamualaikum. Selamat berbuka.
Waalaikumsalam.
Bye.
Bye, terima kasih. Thank you.
Sama-sama.
Assalamualaikum. Bye.
Bye.
Terima kasih, cikgu.